our minds, our brain, actually, so to start off with, we have become, in this modern age, we are so connected. We are defined by our body. We are defined by the material world that we live in. And we've forgotten, even though like religion and stuff kind of touches on it. I mean, I don't study deep, but I know a little bit about religion, and it doesn't talk a lot in depth really about that you are a spiritual being. I'm telling you, I believe that this body, I call it a biomechanical robot. It's a biomechanical robot that your spirit lives in. And your spirit, all it does is it uses the body to simply navigate through the world. And so the spirit, who you really are, it's like a computer. Okay, it's got these programs, beliefs, emotions, and habits that you've programmed into yourself from the day you were born. And some people say past lives, stuff like that, who cares? Is that if you're not getting what you want out of life, it's because you have defective programming. So very simply put, what the program is a new operating system. Okay, just like I'm 34 years old, there are programs in me, thought, ideas, emotions, and habits, action habits that I've been practicing since I was born, or since I was very, very young. And that what they've done is they reinforce themselves. And if they're destructive, if they're not helping me get closer to my goals and dreams, or helping me become the person that I want to become, all you have to do is go inside of them and reprogram them. And the way you reprogram them is by, number one, identifying the old defective programming, the destructive programming, and then just the same as you installed that program through repetition over and over and over and over and over again, okay, then you will start to install the new programs. And that's another thing that society has taught us, that's programmed into us, again, by repetition, is instant gratification. Okay, so people get into these programs, they buy these books, they get into these businesses, they do everything. Whether it's going to the gym, saving money, whatever it is, they expect things to change overnight. And you didn't get to where you are today overnight. It took you years and years, every single day. 95% of the things we do are subconscious. They're subconscious habit patterns that we play out every day over and over and over again. So when you start to disrupt that pattern and you start to install a new pattern over long periods of time, your life literally starts to miraculously change. So I've talked about this, I practice this, I teach this, is success conditioning. So I have a series of things that I say to myself that I do every single day, twice a day, and I'm telling you, I'm on day 60 something. I don't really keep track of the days. I make the days count. So I'm telling you, even today just walking through that alley, so one of the things I say to myself is, I choose to have deep, powerful experiences with celestial emotions. To me, a celestial emotion is an emotion like unconditional love, gratitude, compassion, those type of emotions. Those type of emotions are emotions that people do not feel on a very consistent basis. Usually people are feeling emotions of overwhelmment, fear, worry, anxiety, anger, resentment. Those are the emotions that you consistently feel. And if you consistently feel that, you're just reinforcing a program over and over and over again. And I'm telling you, I used to be just like that. You could talk to my dad, my very best friend, and we worked together for a good 10 years. And I was the biggest fucking dick to him. I mean, I would yell at him. I treated him with such disdain. Because on the inside, those were the patterns that I was playing out over and over and over again. I didn't love myself. I didn't even know what love really was. I really didn't even know what love was until I had my son, to know what real, true unconditional love is. But when you tell yourself something, hey, I'm gonna choose to start feeling these emotions. By the law of expectation, if you expect something to happen, it's gonna happen. So if you say to yourself, hey, I expect to feel these emotions. I'm looking for experiences in my life to feel these emotions. So when I'm walking down the alley and I have an experience and I get filled up with this emotion, then I reinforce it by saying, there it is. There it is, it's working. It's working. So every day, I mean, if I'm on day 60 something, I've said that phrase at least 100 times. 100 times or more I've said that. I choose to have deep, powerful experiences with celestial emotions. So by the law of expectation, I'm telling myself, I'm telling my universe to look out for this stuff. Look out for these experiences that you can have so that you can have these emotions. And I was not the type of person like breaking down, crying, stuff like that. I wasn't that type of person. Even a year ago, even freaking 67 days ago, I was not like that. But those are the emotions that connect you with a higher power. Because I just, going through this program, if you watch the Gary G show, we're listening to Brian Tracy's Master Strategies of High Achievement. He talks about in the program on spirituality, the definition of God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God. And so if love, unconditional love, is, let's say if emotions are at a scale, and the very bottom most destructive emotion is despair, hopelessness. When you're feeling those type of emotions, which I tell you, I've felt those. I've felt them very strongly in my life. And when you feel those emotions, they're so painful, you want to just get out of here. I don't want to play this game anymore because it's so painful. But then on the other side of the spectrum, at the very top, you got unconditional love, joy, appreciation. Once you start feeling those emotions up there at the very top, then you connect to that higher power. When you connect to that higher power, you start getting filled up with an energy, not like a Red Bull energy. I'm talking like this deep spiritual energy. It's like that you literally connect yourself. It's like connecting a welder or something into like 220. You get just filled up with this power, this passion. And I think, because I live my life, that everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to, exactly at the time that it's supposed to. And if you live your life like that, then you can't make mistakes. So for me, I've been working on this program for 10 years. 10 years, since 2006. And I believe the reason why we're here creating this program right now, the reason why we're shooting this footage right now, is because I have gotten to a point where I'm filling my gas tank with this spiritual energy through these practices that I have. I'm telling you, another practice, to kind of go off on a tangent, if you watch these videos, you're gonna know I go off on a lot of tangents when I get in the zone, is this breathing exercise that I learned from Tony Robbins. I've been doing it for the past 2 weeks, where you breathe in for 7 seconds, you hold it in for 28 seconds, and then you slowly let it out for 14 seconds. So I'm telling you, when I first started doing it, my glands, my adrenal glands, my thyroids, all those glands, they just started getting on fire. Okay, then, man, my brain would get on fire, just tingling, just like crazy. I got to the point where I could hold my breath for like 2 minutes. I mean, just super powerful. So these things that I'm doing, that I teach you in the program, what they're doing is they're filling up your cup. They're filling up your gas tank, your spiritual gas tank, with this energy. And it's something that you can only describe by experience. I can tell you, when I talk about energy, probably most people are gonna think like a buzz, like coffee or Red Bull or something like that. It's not like that. I'm running off less sleep than I've ever ran off of, and I feel better than ever. I went to bed last night at 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. I went for a 20-mile bike ride. Phenomenal time. After I went for the bike ride, I went home, I ate, and then I went and did a leg workout, okay, on less sleep than I've ever had before. Still practicing those things every single day. And it's like I talked about in a different video, is that you get to this point where you do it, it becomes a part of me. a part of you when you practice these things over and over again, and you start to feel the energy that comes from filling up that spiritual gas tank. And so you just gotta find out, you gotta plug into this system. You gotta plug into this system, and the beautiful part about this system that I just love so much is that if you get to day 7, day 30, day whatever, and you fall off track, you can always get back on. That's the beauty of the program, because I'm here to tell you, like I said before, I am so far from perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. I've fallen off, I've done things, I'm not perfect. But I know what my purpose is. My purpose is to constantly be evolving, constantly be getting better, so that I can take those experiences, those shortcuts, the blueprints like in this program, and I can share them with other people, so that I can help other people go through that journey. So I can say to them, you know, hey, you know, I've been through the jungle. You don't want to go that way. You want to go this way, because I've already done it. That for me, that's my purpose. So for me, what this system is it's a new operating system. Once you program it in, and I feel that it's not 100% installed yet. The program's not 100% installed yet. And you know what? It never will be. That's the best part. It's just like my phone, just like your phone, you get updates. And the updates only come from persistent, continuous action every day. It's just like, it's like my parents. My parents they're religious people, and they say their prayer every single morning and probably every single night before they go to bed, just like me. Every single day, practicing it. But for me, my intention, the intention of doing that is to install new emotions, to install new ideas, to install a new perception, a new self-image of myself, so that I can go through my life and I can create the type of life that I want to live. And the only way to create a new type of life is to run off a new operating system.